Hey, Crown Content Publications, followers, viewers, supporters, and listeners, Crown Publishing Content YouTube channel supporters, we love you out there. Happy Saturday, happy February, happy Black History Month, happy Valentine's Day, all that good stuff on this beautiful, beautiful weekend. We hope that you guys are having a blessed time with your family and friends and just really pushing your foot forward, especially with all of us having New Year's resolutions and things like that just here recently. Just inspiring you from the Crown Publishing Content family. Keep doing what you're doing, keep putting one foot in front of the other. That's a lot of what we do actually here at this hub. Feel free to go check out previously recorded videos or live streams. We do live discussion topics like this, like I'm going to do on this morning, but we also sometimes do our business segments and help for entrepreneurs and publishing our own books. I mean, we talk about a lot of different things you might want to go check out, and we are going to be bringing those same more business informational type segments back in 2024 as we have chosen to continue our presence at this time on the YouTube channel platform, Crown Publishing Content. So I'm a host of Crown Publishing Content YouTube channel and also founder of Crown Publishing Content, my separate small business where publishing and marketing content finally meet, and we offer content management services. Feel free to learn more about how we might be able to help you as a independent freelancer entrepreneur or independent author yourself. You can learn more about us at contentcrownpublications.com. Okay, one second, guys. So, boom, we got that out the way. And in the description section, you can probably find information about how you can email us inquiries and expect a response within 24 to 48 hours. And also our IG. Okay. Just going into 2024, just still introducing the presence of crime publishing content to local communities and I guess at this point to the world. So, boom, here we are. And this morning, a very great live topic discussion came to me to bring forth on my platform and give my reaction. If I was asked this question in life, would I be able to give my opinion? Would I be able to give my perception? Of course, anything I say on my channel today is just my own perception, expressions, and viewpoints on this subject matter, on real life topics that and things that happen in life that affect us all every day. It's nothing wrong with us observing and assessing situations and seeing how we can understand them better. Not just saying that, but actually showing that too in our lives. We'll say in a minute that you don't know better. You don't do better till you know better. And if we really believe that, why are we judging people in their not know better phases of life? It just doesn't make sense because the time may very well come in their lives where they do know better and they actually apply that knowledge. And then, in my opinion, you should just, I guess, get out of their way because they've earned their stripe. They were willing to put in the work to obtain the knowledge however it came or as the knowledge began to come to them, because the term hard-headed wouldn't exist if that wasn't a real thing. So I'm not saying that we don't run into hard-headed people who we try to help and tell to do better, but it just doesn't seem to register. That's not a you problem when you're trying to help. That's a them problem. And oftentimes that's, if we really care about people and love them, you step out the way and you allow them the time and space uh, to process and just get to learn them better and know what it really is they want in life. Okay. But that's not even what this topic is about today. The topic today was just, another random download or something like show people my mind a little bit. And though I wear many hats and do a lot outside of YouTube, um, I most definitely do. There's even witnesses that know this for sure now, for whatever reason. Okay. But I do a lot. outside of YouTube. That's why my presence here has been a lot less, even in the past 6, 7 months, because I just have other things going. I have other things I was really trying to build. That if you don't invest your time in certain areas of your life, it shows the areas that you are neglecting. So just even if it's putting more time for a little while, less social media, less this, less that, less influence, so you can get what you need together, right? Me building a business might not be a number one priority to the next man or woman, but if it's a priority to me, the sacrifices, everything about it is going to show. You know what I mean? So, just encouraging another entrepreneur out there who might be listening or might tune in later. Motivating and inspiration, you can always find at the Crown Publishing Content channel, especially when you're independently working out here. We understand not only the hard work that comes with independent work, but also how much harder it has been since the after effects of the pandemic began, inflation and things like this. Many businesses, that's not a little thing when you're still trying to independently push yourself. That's what we're talking about at Crown Publishing Content. Like, it's not a little thing when you have whole businesses that were in service for years to communities and to the public that to this day have shut down because of the effects and after effects of a pandemic. So that's just what that is on that note. But yeah, if somebody asks me, hey, uh, Arthur, Ted, or Sherry, what is your perception or what is your viewpoint on, uh, okay, on blessings and miracles, right? I want to give my reaction and just speak on this a little bit this morning. Save this as a recording on YouTube and keep it moving today. And we wish you guys a happy Saturday. And like I said, Valentine's and Black History Month, and just stay tuned. Make sure you hit that subscribe button so you are following future live streams just like these, or live interviews with authors and entrepreneurs just like you in 2024. Hit that subscribe button. That's the only way you're going to be notified that we're back on here and things like that. Okay, hit that like button to show your support. So I had just got to thinking about it because I know I'm not too old and I don't know everything in life in the world, but what I've been assessing and studying so far is how people are have seemed to move to a place when it comes to religion and spirituality, to a place where everybody's just pretty much debating this these days. I mean, don't get me wrong, you got your firm standards and believers in all different cultures and religion, right? Those that are going to stick to what their culture believed and taught them and all of that for the rest of their lives, no matter what you tell them. So you do have those too, but you just have a lot of people on this journey of like changing their beliefs and going this way, that way about the whole thing, saying that they don't believe in anything at all. They used to have a term for that called atheist, somebody that just doesn't believe in anything bigger than what meets the eye. This is perfect how I'm opening up this topic today. Blessings and miracles. If you look at the thumbnail, is what I titled this recording segment today. And it says, we don't believe it until we see it. I put a question mark behind it. We don't believe it until we see it. See, an atheist is somebody who only actually believes what they see in front of them. They don't want to hear that Buddhist is the idol, but it channels through spirituality, and you have to pray to the Buddhist and put the rocks here and put your golden crystals. Some people are just not into that. Any type of, I'm trying to put y'all into the mind of an atheist for a second or something. And we're not picking on the atheists today. We're actually using them because many atheists today are not atheists anymore. Actually, let me advocate for those because of, I'm not going to say topics like what I'm talking about today, just the reality of topics that I'm touching on today, like blessings and miracles. It has to be something much bigger, much further, much everything, much more advanced, much more ahead of us if something like miracles exists, because we're going to talk about it a little bit this morning. I did leave the link to the in the comment section of the live chat if anybody ends up coming across my stream while I'm on this topic this morning and wants to chime in their expressions, comments, or views, because that's all we're doing this morning when we do our discussion topics on the Crown Publishing Content channel. I hope you guys can hear me okay and everything, because my mic was acting a little. Okay, so boom, blessings and miracles is where I left off talking about, and like the atheist, like who believes nothing. Would that still mean like they just choose not to have a religious preference? They choose not to believe in all the extra, what I'm saying, mystics, just trying to put it in words, how they might say it, the trinkets and whistles and horns, right? They don't want to partake in any of that. The breads and wines and sermons and masses, they just rather not. This is the mind of atheists. They're fine living their life and just believing they're in control of everything, right? But a miracle wouldn't be a miracle, and people wouldn't be able to describe things such as a miracle happening to them if they didn't exist. This made me really think on yesterday. There wasn't even any exact situation that could happen. I'm gonna get more personal with my subscribers here soon, like, and really probably will start telling what I was in the midst of doing when certain like topics come to me or whatever. Maybe that is important on this journey with the YouTube channel. But whatever it was on yesterday, I thought about that. I said, you know what? Blessings and miracles are two different things. We can almost describe them as almost family, brother and sister in the family tree of things that bring us in the most interesting ways to our higher selves or to our lighter selves. When I say lighter, the more upper side of our lighter being. Like, I believe everybody has a light and a dark side. I don't that's just me personally. Like, every human, everything that exists has a light and a dark side. Like, it can get sick if it's a living organism. There are things that can go dark or wrong about this living organism, is what we mean. Like, there's a dark and a light to everything. Hmm. So yeah, I believe there's a light and a dark to everything. The dark can even get so dark though to me. You have things like the perfect example, the hospital. A place like a hospital is full of people every day. Maybe more times than others when there's more going on, of course, like viruses and things like that going around. But for the most part, the hospital and the funeral home, but I'm bringing the hospital forward really quick for a really valid reason. Like, this can be a life or death type threatening like place. Not the place in itself, but it's where people go for the most part in our human experience for healing and for help and to really see what might be going on with us when we're not feeling 100%. This is oftentimes the main place where the word miracle is more thrown around or used. I hate to say thrown around because I can understand why the word miracle would be used in a hospital. I bet a doctor or a nurse can advocate and say, look, yeah, if we hear the word miracle, at least 12 times a year. 12 is a lot if you ask me. 12 months, that mean in a year, that mean you hear it at least once a month. Somebody is claiming it's a miracle, either after a surgery is performed or after something is done, and or there's a pull through or a breakthrough in a situation that just looked absolutely impossible. If you ask me, if you ask Arthur Teta Sherry, what is a miracle to you? You would have to look at situations like this in your life, that moment where just at your human experience capacity, you start to shut down and you start to believe in yourself like, hey, yep, I have done all I could do. I am at my fullest capacity, full blown pressure point about this situation. I've done all I could do. And then something happens, like pretty much you feel powerless when miracle type situations usually approach you. If somebody just really wanted to learn what a miracle was, and as somebody like me, and we sat down and had a discussion just like this, I would say it just like this. And I just wanted it like recorded on one of my segments for the record. Like, this is what I personally believe down putting the word of God in any way, type, shape, or form. But experience is a thing too. And it's like, I want to speak from that when I give my perception of what the difference between a blessing and a miracle is in this life. I think it's a great time, even in history, just in this generation and everything, to also bring topics like this out more, make these type of topics just as trendy as anything else. Because maybe if we did more perceived stuff like this is close as to correctly or perfectly as possible, we'd see a major change in the world as a whole. Seriously, really understanding the dynamics, the breakdown, the setup, the insides and outs of what the difference between blessings and miracles are, why miracles have been said and rumored and known to change the lives of the people it happens to, the animals, because miracles can happen all kind of ways, right? Why would the word exist in any language in human history if something like a miracle was not true, right? We wouldn't say something like a miracle is a dark act, it's a dark energy, it's a dark sort. Why would we say that? It's a miracle because it's a miracle. Suddenly, abruptly, unexpectedly. If you read my description section, actually, I'm trying to see if it'll let me go to it. But if you read it, I put something along the lines of, you know, I know I was talking about understanding blessings and miracles. Understanding that I don't feel like miracles exist to hurt people, and if we will admit the existence of miracles, why would we say we don't believe in anything? Because once again, to me, a miracle is more of like one of those breakthrough situations, those breakthrough moments in your life where you knew there was no other way. You're calling it a miracle. It's out of this world. It's out of this sight. It's unheard of, right? Yes, the Bible and sacred and religious books is probably going to be the first reference of because when people have debates and build topic type conversations, oftentimes receipts or documents or books and papers are asked of you to prove your point. But like I said, with this topic, I wouldn't even need a book if I already have the personal experience and really would rather show the receipts to the experiences and why I believe what I believe about what a miracle is versus what a blessing is, okay? I just would say a miracle holds more weight. Both are like sacred, universal, powerful things that can, experiences that you can end up, partaking in. A blessing, a miracle. All of us probably have had at least one in our lifetime before we die, some type of a miracle or blessing happen to us, or that a situation that we would describe as such as that, a blessing or a miracle. Please, please, ladies and gentlemen, excuse me for all the pause breaks and sudden swift changes and everything. But we got to move a certain way sometimes in life too. You know what I mean? Because when I first started doing these segments, I would put like a exact time and day we would come on here and do topics and interviews with other podcasters and stuff like that. But now I actually feel comfortable not being pinpointed. I feel like that as a human. I actually believe there is a way that you can run a whole business, run a whole services business, and offer services to people as a freelancer without too much of your life being exposed. Straight up. So I might not always say a week in advance, even though people would say this is the most proper way to be prepared for business or whatever in life. This kind of ties into what I'm talking about with miracles too. It's just, we haven't even talked about faith, grace, because it really wasn't just blessing and miracle. I want to say was there's a difference in between. You got other great gifts that come from what you would call the universe or God or the most high God, other gifts that are like really, really sacred, not just religiously, like everybody something like a blessing or a miracle is so powerful that you would not have to explain it in that moment. Like when it happens, or when because I feel like I've seen blessings and miracles on other people for sure. And like I definitely have witnessed what I would describe, okay, a blessing or a miracle happen in the life of somebody else, whether they were just like really close to me or not. That's something you can see on somebody. That's why you wouldn't call it blessing when you see it on somebody else. You might say blessed with an ed at the end, in the English language vocabulary or whatever. You might say, "Oh, that's a blessed person," or you perceive that even if you don't say it out loud. You try to look at somebody's life from the outside in. When we talk about this topic, is something that I would like to mention. This is oftentimes how we have continued to judge the weight of blessings and miracles. We have told ourselves we can look at somebody from the outside looking in and, judge whether they're blessed or not, judge whether or not what just happened for them, to them, around them was a miracle or not. Who really in human history has the power to deem whether something is a miracle or not? What are y'all opinion about that? Leave it in the comment section for me. I just, who has the power to say, no, that wasn't a miracle. That had to be some type of scam they did. That had to be, you know, luck. Oh, okay. So I saw that about life too. Like some people are more willing to believe in luck. I'm just asking y'all, give y'all perceptions and stuff too. The link is in the comment section to join the chat. But if you'll believe in luck, to me, like, oh, that was just a lucky chance. Like, dang, I really don't hear people use that word lucky or luck as much as I used to. But that's a whole word and thing too. Being lucky, like would that exist in the English vocab if it wasn't? It exists in the Chinese too. Like in lots of other different cultures, they do use the word lucky. What is lucky? What is luck? What is magic? Or what is a blessing? What is a miracle, right? I think this is a great topic to build on any day. And I know I can't get it all out in one day, but we are going to try to attempt to touch the surface of my reaction to, in my opinion and perception of what a blessing is versus a miracle, why it's important to understand the difference, Like if somebody gives me a gift and I don't really truly understand the gift, so therefore I never fully get to use the gift because I just was had anxiety about the fact that I didn't know what to do with it. I never even thought to ask the manufacturer, like, how do you truly use this easy bake oven? How do you truly use this gift that you just gave me? Like, if it's a perfume spray, where did it come from? Is it great? Really get to know the gift because I feel like there's no way you can utilize a gift like a blessing, no matter what type of blessing it is, or a miracle, or grace, or the gift of faith, or whatever it is. Luck. How can you receive that if number one, you don't even believe. You don't. You know what I'm saying? That's a whole part of this topic we're gonna talk about too. But how are you gonna see that? That's why I'm trying to break this down. I know I can't do it alone, but like atheists, really, I can see where they are coming from in life. But I still believe in something bigger than myself at all times, for sure. Even if that bigger than myself is myself, another side of myself. I don't care what it is. There's definitely something greater than just us, the humankind experience out here. Therefore, yes, I very much so believe in miracles and blessings. I apologize for the pause breaks, y'all, but I am gonna get this off my mind. Just what I was talking about with the difference between blessings and miracles, and the importance of understanding the difference between the two. Because like I feel like blessings can be described as one of those things that people feel like they didn't deserve. That's kind of why they'll give it the title of a blessing over just like, oh, this was a gift, or this was an unexpected event in my life. They don't describe it as that. They're going to use the word blessing, okay? Because there's this little part of you throughout the human experience that believes that you didn't even deserve. When you call it something like a blessing, it's probably something you hope for, which is technically all the Bible when you go this route for a blessing, because I do believe blessings are just one of those things that are far more easily accessible or obtainable than something like a miracle. That's the main difference between the two, if you ask me. You know what I mean? Yeah, I gotta get. Oh no, 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 no! Dang it! I spilled my apple juice. I did that to myself. To me, it's important to understand the difference between miracles and blessings. Blessings are more. Am I saying ultimately we should just strive for miracles in life or anything? No, but let's do remember they're very, very, very sacred experience in some people's lives. Like, and without that miracle, that's why it's a miracle. There was no other way. There was no other way outside of death and misfortune and confusion, and that's what a miracle is about. Even if you try to break it down, like whatever the miracle was, you know what I mean? Only I would say something like a miracle is more personal than when a person believes that they have received some type of blessing, regardless of which route they went about it. Because once again, that question coming from the Crown Publishing content host is, um, out of all the things to call something that you have received in life, why do people go as far as to calling it a blessing? One of the most sacred and highest honors. It's a whole reason. There's a emotional, personal attachment reason why I'm sure people use the word blessing to describe something that happened to them or something that happened to them in life or someday that happened to somebody they know. Okay. Now, all I said is miracles to me, when we think about what a miracle is versus a blessing, does hold more weight overall because it's not as easily accessible through all these different routes and avenues that I do believe the other side has created, these shortcut patty cake ways where other people at the expense of other people's innocence and other things, you know what I mean? These other ways they go about obtaining what they would also too consider a quote unquote blessing. And that's why, depending on who is using that term to me, when they say, oh, I received a blessing, or I got a blessing, or girl, this was a blessing, or yeah, that guy's blessed. You know what I mean? Their opinion is just their opinion. And when I assess a situation, if I call something blessed, of course, I have my own perception of why I think that it's truly blessed, or what I see blessed about it or blessed about the person. You know what I mean? I've always been like open and vocal about thing. I am that type of person. Like, you know what? That's a blessed young lady, or because the things that, once again, from the outside looking in, which is not the way you look at blessings and miracles, by the way. Once again, it's a more personal experience. That's why it gets the title of a blessing or a miracle. It's a more sacred experience, something that only you could feel like in that moment, like this is a miracle or this is a blessing. If you're just looking at a person and how much trouble they get in and what they've done in life, like, and you claim in your personal opinion that that person is not blessed, or that person does not receive miracles, or just can't, is ultimately bound from receiving miracles in life. Like, who in human power even wants that much power to be able over somebody? Like, isn't that trying to play God? Where you just say, you know what, that person is just not deserving of miracles or blessings. And so, and that's just how some people really do feel about others. That's where the terms jealousy and envy come from. But maybe we'll do another topic on that another day. Today we're talking about blessings and miracles. They are, it's no way to talk about blessings and miracles without bringing up the concept of jealousy and envy, because it comes with it. Oftentimes when you get something like a real blessing, it's a real blessing because not everybody is happy for you. It's not about those things you receive. See, we're talking about perception again and looking from the outside in of others' lives around us, calling ourselves judging whether they're blessed or not, whether they're, what they feel like happened to them was a miracle or not. Like, who are people? And if you are experiencing that in life, don't let people dictate what a blessing is to you, what a miracle is to you. Even if they choose to step all over it, it probably wasn't theirs to step on. It probably wasn't theirs to, even appreciate or like. Because once again, I'm going to say it one more time, blessings and miracles hold a different weight to me because they're more personal. They're more personal. People don't just walk around calling things a blessing for no reason. It's a very old term. It's a very old word of of different culture languages too. Blessing and miracles, as well as curses, but we're not talking about those today. These are just words and things that obviously sacredly existed long before our generation and time today. So really looking at the misconception of what people have truly turned what a blessing is supposed to be in their minds and heads and lives, into something totally different. You can call it what you want to call it, but everything on earth is not blessed. If it was, the world wouldn't be in the state and condition that it is today. But most people would probably consider themselves blessed for the most part, or they would call certain things a blessing in their life. But what is a blessing compared to a miracle? And are we prepared for a time any time in our lives where only a miracle is the only way you're gonna make it? Okay, because like I said, yeah, miracle is more like lifeline type of deal. I would say that something like a miracle is a blessing in itself. A blessing is like a gift of any sort. See, people could give you, they could say with their words, here, I want to give you this blessing and bless this and put this blessed thing in your hands so that you could be blessed. And then, and something like that could be a miracle for you. Don't get me wrong. That's why I say miracles can be described as blessings sometimes, but they're two different things. Like, man, I just got blessed with a miracle today. Or you can say, I received the miracle of blessings today. Like, look how it ties hand in hand. I'm not even a preacher. I haven't gone to the Bible about this topic yet. Because when you have experience on both sides, which my experience are not going to be the same as everybody else's in life. But how would you know blessing if you don't know the other side of blessing? I wish there was more people on here I could quiz this morning, but the only other side of blessing I've ever known, the opposite, the actual complete opposite of the word blessing is curse. There's no in between. Blessed or cursed, blessings or curses, like that's it. Now with miracles, the other side of miracles is something totally different too. There's no in between about this. Otherwise, miracles wouldn't exist. There is a whole nother side to why miracles have been needed or, of much good use to some walking and living through the human experience, anytime on the globe. Something like miracles go way, 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 way back, and people using the term miracle to describe an event or something in their life. Straight up, that's just how that is. Um, but oftentimes, back to this part of what I was saying, when it comes to my perception, viewpoint, and expressions, my reaction to what is a blessing versus a miracle. Somebody out there might listen to this and say, how does this topic even correlate with life? Like, what does it pay her? What does it pay me to know the difference between a blessing and a miracle? Well, only that's another one of those personal things. Didn't I just say blessings and miracles are personal? You have to personally experience, walk the path of feeling like, oh my gosh, that was a whole blessing, or oh my gosh, I am really blessed. Like, people have car wrecks every day, and some survive them, some don't. The ones that survive them, yeah, you'll definitely probably hear them use the word blessing or miracle right there on the road, right there after the wreck. And they don't just use that term because they're shaking up in that moment. Is it that they use the term because they're shaken up in that moment? Oh my gosh, this is a miracle I survived the car wreck. That was another part of my topic that I wanted to bring forth. Do we only believe in miracles in the 11th hour? Has it always naturally been that way? And if so, does that make it right? I don't think that makes it right. That is crazy if miracles actually exist and people are aware that miracles exist, but nobody cares about the acts of miracles or wanting a miracle for somebody else or something like that until they need a miracle personally. What did I say? Blessings and miracles are a personal experience, a personal human experience. There's so many vast avenues of areas of life where people can consider themselves blessed and blessings, but a miracle, that's not something you can imitate. That's not something you can. And let's talk about that, guys. Let's talk about that. I didn't say that people won't try to attempt to imitate something like a miracle. No, because like even in the history of Bible days, you can even watch the movie Hercules, like some of these Disney classics. There's always an imitator, always. Um, but I just feel like certain things cannot be 100% duplicated. And miracles are one of those things. That's definitely how you're going to be able to separate the two. When a miracle has happened to somebody, when somebody just calling themselves versus somebody just calling themselves or saying they received a blessing. Not saying that's not real too, but a miracle is always going to hold more weight. A miracle, in my opinion, is one of those you don't have to explain it. Like there's been times miracles were performed by somebody's hand, somebody bigger than Earth. Okay, because what is a miracle? It's been times miracles have been performed, whether we've seen it on movies or in our own personal lives, where even the doctors were like, wow, like we didn't even expect that to turn around like that. We didn't expect the blood pressure to go back down or for this person to heal that quick or for this tumor to go away that fast. There are doctors that have already admitted and said things like this. They said things like your son has 5 more days to die and son lives 5 years longer. These are really experiences that people have lived through and also consider as miracles. Not because I said it, because they say this in their personal lives. And that's why some of these entry level topics that I did start on YouTube deserve not just more attention, but just more, build more people with their perceptions and opinion on it. That's all I'm saying. So we're not done. Like this is only the beginning. The beginning. I might very well come back to YouTube, reference to some of these topics, and come back with a whole panel for everyone. Because it's great to have different age groups, different sexes, and all of that come out with their perceptions of topics like this: blessings versus miracles. I don't think I have to say it. Everything is not a blessing. Why would they tell us everything that glitter ain't gold, but we sit here and believe everything everybody says is blessed or a blessing is that? It just doesn't seem wise. We'll say everything, sugar and salt look just alike, but one is sweet, one is bitter, or whatever they say. So if that's true, everything we consider blessed is not blessed. So that's just if I'm doing a teaching or giving my perception on it, you definitely want to, first of all, even if you didn't know anything about blessings or what a blessing is versus a curse, and things you can do to bless your life, yourself, your future, when we say blessed, we mean on the lighter side of things, not on the, that's what I'm saying. We know where blessings and the word bless originated from and what it was referring to, and who it came from in that sense. But if people have took it and diluted it to another way too, to where it's like, well, this is blessed, what I do in this religion and like we all know where the originated term of bless and blessings and what it truly was supposed to mean at one point in time in history really meant. Now anybody, anything is considered blessed because we look at things from an outer appearance perspective. We look at things from the window, and we're on the outside of it looking in. What is that window? Places like social media. A brief 15 minutes, you ran into somebody at the store. You don't know somebody because you talked to them for 15 minutes. I know somebody needed to hear that this morning, or they needed it confirmed because maybe somebody's trying to play like they know you and they've only talked to you 15 minutes. It's one of those energies that have always rubbed me wrong. I am learning how to deal better with certain low vibrational, just deal better with them because they're not going anywhere. There's always going to be a person or two or three or 10 that just choose to be low vibrational people. Do low vibrational acts and Team up with other vibrational people so they can all be low vibrational together. It can be very energy draining for one person, let alone, you know what I mean, a whole family, a whole community, a whole state, a whole country. Come on now. What's a blessing? What's a miracle? That's what this topic was about this morning. And backing up a little bit. Yes, the Bible and Mormon books and Jewish books is a place you would find the words blessings and miracles a lot. It gives people hope. It's what makes people believe that there might be something bigger than us out there. So what I notice is people feel safer maybe with saying things like blessings or miracle. Like I said, doctors will admit things turn around and that they'll use that word. Like I've seen miracles right here in the hospital during surgery, after surgery. The guy flatlined, we brought him back. People call these things miracles. Miracles are those things, even if you stood there and said nothing and it was your son on the operating table and your son who the miracle happened to, even if you said nothing and told people, oh my gosh, like, you know what I mean? This was bigger than me, the doctors, and my son pulled through. Even if you didn't tell people that, miracles are the type of things that people see that. Like they will tell you. I've had things happen to me in life where even if I didn't say nothing, people said it. Like, you are a blessed young lady. And I knew in that moment it had nothing to do with my outer opinion. Like, and it's just a hurtful thing this season, I guess, of my life to learn, like, truly that that's just how humans are. I was probably even this way once upon a time, but we judge what's blessed or what's miraculous to us from the outside looking in. I don't know why we would be judging who's blessed or not anyway. Y'all know that's more of a I would say it's not so childish of an act, but if it's going on like in a church or assembly or group, it's just stupid. Or at somebody's job, I don't think people should judge people in that way, especially if they're not bothering them. Because people can believe what they want to believe, and I feel like they just shouldn't be judged, harassed, stalked, none of that for their mind. It's like you literally chasing that person mind in. Anyways, miracles can't be really duplicated. Like in the story of Moses, it's funny. There were certain times he came to the king. God wanted to display and express his power through Moses in front of Pharaoh, in front of the king. And it just seemed like there was a specific time where he stood before the king. Different things took place, like Moses' staff turning into a snake, and the king has his magicians, and they also turned their staffs into, even if they did it with magic or whatever they used, that was the point of the story. How this is very real. Like, imitators don't go anywhere. Like, they're not going anywhere. Copycatters, whatever. It doesn't mean that something like a miracle or a blessing is not real, though. Moses' staff really just as real as the magician's staffs turned into serpents. For whatever reason God wanted to prove in that moment, Moses' staff also did the same thing. And Moses made it very clear who he was walking for, standing with, what his mission was. He made it very clear what he was there to talk to Pharaoh about. Every time, he didn't care if his magicians was there, his dancers, his servants, his cooks. Moses didn't care who was in the room. He was there on a mission. And now we go back to blessings and miracles. Moses himself was considered a miracle to the people of Israel at this time. It's a great story to give an example of the difference between blessings and miracles. Straight up. He made it very clear what he was there to do. It was very unfortunate when certain miracles were performed by the hand of God. People probably thought Moses had something to do with this, or Moses was just a little child that was sent across the river because babies were being executed. And let's not act like mass killings, this type of things have not happened in history for real. There are times like whole cultures of people were wiped out for real. Like, did we not know? So, whether we believe in the story of Moses or not, before him, after him, there were villages and tribes of people that have been abused and things happened to them. So, he's a great example. He was more considered a whole miracle. This person's whole existence, this person's whole being, this he's considered a miracle. What a coincidence! He ends up at a palace. Like he ends up at a palace. Everybody that know, Moses was kind of more inducted or adopted into such of a family royalty. What he had going on, but there were always imitators. I'm trying to stay on topic about this. He's always a great example when we talk about miracles. If not Christ himself, most of his life and ministry consisted of people coming back, turning around, going and telling other people, or witnesses telling other people, describing what they would see happen between Jesus and other people as whole what miracles. Maybe Jesus's existence was a blessing to some people. See how blessing and miracle do tie hand in hand. That's why I say it's like they on the same family tree. They're like brother and sister almost. Blessings and miracles, brother and sister. But a sister is going to be totally different when it comes to her whole existence, what she is, you know, who she turns into, how she gives to the world is going to be told. That's the perfect way to put it. How a sister gives to the world ultimately is going to be different from how a brother gives to the world ultimately, okay? But they are still related. They might share some of the same ways, thoughts, even look sometimes, because you're related, you're brother and sister, but you are totally different. And what you give to the world is going to be totally different. So this is how I look at blessings and miracles. Why do we claim we don't believe this or that until we see it? Why are people like that? Y'all leave your opinions in the comments. Is it trust issues? Because the truth about it is, if we have trust issues and something is the truth, you're just wasting time discovering the truth, just staying there having trust issues, right? So it's just how I look at it. Do you not believe something when you don't see it because you have trust issues and it might not be real and that scares you? Other than that, what harm is it to believe that there is more to the universe, to the world, to you than you can see? And if that's true about yourself, there's definitely more to yourself than everybody's going to know on a day-to-day basis. If that's true about you first, why would you think you're going to know somebody else better than them on a day-to-day basis? Like, why would you ever think you're going to get to that level with them, even if you feel like you have it like that over them for quite some time? Like, I don't know. To me, you don't ever know. A person will never know. I don't care if they're monitoring you, how hard they watching you, what they doing. You don't know nobody better than they know them, because you are not in their body, their soul. They're like, you weren't the originated copy, carbon copy. Come on now. Anyways, I love that blessings and miracles exist, because oftentimes when you are having identity crisis mix-ups and a hard time differentiating what's real and what's fake in your life, what's true and what's lies in your life, stuff like that. Oh, blessings and miracles would definitely expose it every time. That's why I said blessings and miracles oftentimes do attract envy and hate. Is it that people don't believe me, or once again, like we got the question on the thumbnail here, do we not believe it until we see it? And what's the difference between the two, blessings and miracles? Two things that you might not even see coming. That's what make a blessing a blessing. But I do feel like blessings can be described as something more anticipated, something more expected. You see what I'm saying? So you did put forth some effort somewhere, or that's where that word, what we would call faith, come in. At you had to believe somewhere for a blessing to manifest. You had to really have hope that something that you done already pushed yourself into, your energy into, is going to come back for you. That's where a blessing differs from a miracle. Let's say you put in that same energy into that thing, because if they call back and like, yeah, you got the job, somebody like, woo, this is a blessing, I got the job, it's a blessing, I'm gonna start in a week or two, right? Like, we consider things like that blessings in life, right? But we're talking about once again judging others, like looking at their life from the outside looking in, judging and dictating whether they're blessed to us or not. It's really childish to me. It's like if somebody wants to convince me that somebody else is cursed, it's really a waste of their time, honestly. And it's not even their fault. It's because I'm the type of person, I have to know stuff for myself, and maybe that's okay. Even if that makes another person in my presence uncomfortable, you could tell me, hey, don't walk over there, the floor is wet. I might still have to go see. So we did talk about trust issues, right? But I know that blessings or miracles are real, and maybe it took that for me because a lot of us do have what you call trust issues. I wouldn't say that it's anybody's job to dictate or judge whether a person deserves something like a blessing and a miracle. See how I first broke down what a blessing and a miracle is to me. I will first personally admit that I believe blessings and miracles are real. You can't consider something a blessing if it first didn't look cursed, if it first didn't look unmovable, unshakable, unworthy, right? That's what I said about blessings too. It's a lot of times something you receive that you felt straight up unworthy of. Miracles, you're really praying for that. You're expecting that too. Like a miracle is something that, it's gonna take a lot of hope too. That's why they so quick to call it a miracle. People that have never prayed, let it be somebody they really, 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 really love. And I hate to say it like this, but it's the best example I could give on their deathbed, or you know what I'm saying? A test they really need to pass for the sake of a job or this or that. Like, put people in those type of situations, you'll see the difference between number one, a blessing and a miracle. Because sometimes your reaction to something that you are denied from shows a lot about you too. Like, just like your character, it's something I look at. I'm trying to make a point here. Those things that we apply ourselves, we put our foot forward in faith. And faith is the only way you could do it to manifest something like a miracle, though. I wish I had somebody on here to talk to me this morning, because, like, if y'all know, y'all know. If you don't, I am kind of putting a lot of good, really healthy game out there. And I'm even going to dig more off into my own game firsthand, to prove it to people what I'm talking about. How to manifest a miracle, you can't even do that without faith. You can't, even if you say you the top notch atheist and you say that with your words, your mouth, your mind, like your heart, um something in you still believes if things like miracles. And one of my favorite examples is that movie Signs with Mel Gibson. See, if you really paid attention to the movie, the Mel Gibson, he played a pastor. He was the pastor. He was a husband of a wife, with a family when this whole alien invasion thing happened in the movie. And he had lost faith because of the way that he had lost his wife. Which, yes, walking through the human experience, having empathy and stuff like that, even just watching a movie, putting ourselves in that man's shoes, it could be understandable why he lost faith or whatever. But long story short, at the end of the movie, he lost faith, but he still took care of his kids. He just didn't want to talk about anything pertaining to blessings, miracles, God. He didn't read his Bible anymore. That's how the movie was trying to show it. The writer did a really good job. And I believe Gibson had a hand in producing the movie Signs, but it was a great movie when it comes to what I'm trying to explain. And I love that he was like a pastor in his line of work. That was like really his life before his wife died. And that probably took a big chunk of his heart. And he just didn't want to indulge in the things of God anymore. He didn't even quit his job. The townspeople were still cool with him, spoke to him every morning, was friendly with his kids, and they felt for him too. They would check on him. He had a brother in the movie, but I love how at the end it was ultimately his faith that redeemed his whole family, reminding him that you were in the line of work, the line of fire, the fire of purpose in your life, even with an alien invasion on the way, even with your wife passing away. you were right. Like your power in what you were doing, you had faith in being a preacher and whatever you were doing for a reason. Yes, people like preachers, ministers, priests are, if you wanted to really get a breakdown or a real understanding on what a blessing it was versus a miracle, people you could talk to in this line of work. Of course, they could show you haunted buildings and curses and the exorcisms and what's going on negatively about the world. But once again, just bringing that topic back, making it popular again. Like, what are blessings and miracles? I feel like I can see it on people. Like, when it's truly blessed, it's blessed. And when I say see it, I guess I mean with another type of vision because it's not something that you can materialistically, you know what I'm saying, pinpoint out on somebody, them being blessed. Maybe they defeated a brain tumor the month before, regardless of what kind of boots they have on their feet. But people are so quick to judge the perception, because that's all you're doing. If you don't ask somebody what the personal deal is, you still don't know. A person like me, you could think I told you the personal deal. At that point, you're no longer lying. You're protecting your real information by just saying whatever you have to say to get through that conversation. Once again, how can you truly know somebody like you think you know them to control and dictate whether they, number one, deserve a blessing or miracle? Number two, try to control their perception of what a blessing or a miracle is. Just, anyways, whoever this help. If miracles are real, why do we only believe what we see? If we're willing to call something a miracle in a heartbeat, especially when it touches our hearts and it was somebody we loved and it was something that we just thought wasn't no way around it. A comet was almost finna hit Earth, an asteroid, but it missed us by 2 inches. That's something you would describe as a miracle, wouldn't you say? Yeah, because the other side of miracle is just pretty much disaster. That's what I was trying to describe earlier. There's no in between with the both. The other side of blessing is curses. Maybe a curse comes dressed up in a certain way. Maybe something that's not so good for you comes dressed up a certain way. Once again, sugar and salt do look just alike. Maybe everything that glittered isn't gold. So appearance is a whole part of this topic. Like, you cannot judge what's blessed anyway. You cannot judge what was miraculous or miracle unless you are on the level to be ready to judge that. You got to understand what a blessing and a miracle is, and that they're two different things. Before you can even start looking at the person, do you even understand that much in life? Just as much as curses and unfortunate events and deaths, the darker sides of life exist, so do the lighter, the blessings, the miracles. Sometimes I do feel like my life is a ministry too, though. Like, no matter what I choose to do, it still ends up being a ministry because, yeah, I'm a prime example that blessings and miracles exist. Like, the other side of miracles, like I said, is just straight up like, okay, some stuff that'll make you like, what am I supposed to do with that? So only a miracle could pave the way for you, like they kind of tried to describe the children of Israel's story in Moses. Yeah, only a miracle with certain things is going to do, and that scares some people. They're like, what? I have to believe in something bigger than me, and it has to be a miracle at the end of the day. Yes, because all a miracle considers, all a miracle expects of you is to actually expect, want, desire that miracle. Kind of like the same laws of spirituality at the end of the day. Why wouldn't you have to respect the things of the light as some people are so quick to respect the things of the dark? They respect seeing somebody get cussed out, and they respect seeing two people going back and forth and confrontation and you know what I mean, discord and chaos. Okay, so that's some people preference. But as real as that is, and somebody being able to even spark negativity, like just to spark it and get everybody else on a railroad, I still say that's a powerful thing, but why use it to do that or whatever? But just as real as that's real, uh, blessings and miracles are. And for some people, because things are that real, and it's so funny in the Bible, it's just different reasons I choose to believe in this book when it comes to life lessons and, you know what I mean, advice or just somewhere you can turn to for how you're feeling emotionally during this human experience. One thing it does say for sure is that the just shall live by faith, and a good researcher should wonder who the just who before I can understand that the just shall live by faith and things like the redeemed, let the redeemed of the Lord say so. Like these are like commands, these are like promises, these are like blessings set in stone. But we're not going that deep today. But if you, once again, still, if you're going to study the curse, the cycles, the generational patterns, and the darker side of things, why not just dig a little into and see what more might be in the light? What you mean? Of course, you don't need to dabble on both sides. Ultimately, that's what we are taught. You should be more comfortable in the light anyway, on a higher vibration, better attitude, and better positive person, as healthy as you could be. You should want to be that anyway. Um, for some people, miracles are the only way, and that's why the Bible already says it. The just shall live by faith. So it make you say, who is the just? Who is the just at the end of the day? Like, and it'll make you, because if you do things the normal way or the way people expect you to, it can really be dangerous these days. It's crazy. It's just my opinion. Y'all heard it at the Crown Publishing Content family. I don't mind stating my opinion anytime about the world and the conditions that I feel like is going on, and how I feel like it's affecting people mentally for sure. I know the world knows this already. So, but if there's a place that, even if it's not the Bible for the next person, if it's a place where you can find positivity, motivation, inspiration, just good things to fuel your brain, good energy, good healthy clean energy for your space and things like this, you can begin to start inviting and these things in your life. They say the best things are life are free blessings. So one of my blessings could be a $2,000 gift, but they said the best things in life are free. If I didn't pay the $2,000 for that gift, it was truly. Now it's even more of a gift because I didn't pay any money for it. If it was given to me, it's a gift. It's a gift that some would say, okay, that was a blessing. You just got gifted with a $2,000 purse. Well, what a blessing, right? We've all kind of experienced things like this here or there, more or less with the price or whatever type of gifts. We would say that's more of a blessing because of the price value or something like that. But if it was a gift, would I be able to recognize that? Would I know how to properly utilize this gift? Would it come with instructions on certain ways to clean it, or where I can bring it back if it needs to be sewn on the inside or whatever? Am I being given these tools with my gift so that I can truly see the blessing, boom, in my gift? Why is it that we don't believe until we see it? We don't believe that sister over there, that brother over there, that guy over there, that child over there is blessed because we're looking on the outside perception of how we want to see things. When blessed is a whole deeper thing than that. What shoes you have on, how your voice sounds. It's so silly that we really have adults out here that judge um, whether a person is full of miracles and blessings in their life versus you know what I mean? Them having more of a darker life. One second, guys. Thank you, guys. Thank you. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. So yeah, Anyways, I just thought this was an interesting topic because like we can all deem anything we want to in life bliss or miracles, but we can't look. It's just better for us all to stay in our own lane. We can't look at somebody's life and say, okay, they're blessed, so they deserve my energy or time. Yes, try to surround yourself with the best energy possible, of course, like all of us should do that, but at the same time, in your life, you should have time just to yourself too. I can understand how that's important. You should have time you shouldn't even have time to be worried about who's blessed, who's cursed, you should want to receive miracles and blessings and prosperity and peace and just be in your own lane and request that and deserve that for yourself. You don't want to waste 60 years of your life and feel like you didn't really do anything for yourself. That seems tormentive. You just spent your whole life focused on other people and making them happy. Nobody wants to get to the age they sit back and feel like that. So I don't know. That it's a reason I would encourage anybody live your life, stand on your truth, uh, hold your core values dear. And yes, I'm just here today, like as a witness. Yes, blessings and miracles are real. Blessings and miracles are two different things. Just for the record, you know what I mean? Miracles, you don't have to say nothing. People know it too. They're like, damn, that was a miracle. Like even the doctors in the room are saying it's a miracle. You know what I mean? They literally use that word in term. Uh, a blessing, like I said, is something probably more expected or something people be so shocked when they feel like just some like a blessing fall in their hands or they refer to it as a blessing because I mean there has to be light to like I said to something like blessings and miracles. It's the lighter side, the lighter vibrating luminative side of life. Blessings and miracles can be scary because I described them in my description section as unexpected. You know what I mean? Unplanned. They carry weights of their own, real blessings and miracles. You know what I'm saying? It's a miracle. Like, then you say the baby was sick for 2 days or, whatever it was. But miracles don't have to be explained. It's one of them things people running and telling on their own because they saw it. Like, it's a miracle. Like, man, this happened, that happened. You don't even get the chance. When it's a miracle, if you win the lotto and y'all know how it is. I'm just trying to give a good example, but you win the lottery or something. Uh, that might be considered a miracle over the weight of a blessing. That's something you took a whole. I do. I be feel like this need to be broken down. If preachers and leaders are gonna teach our young people about this and stuff like that, miracles are very real. I feel like a deeper talk could be had on it too, because we don't want to be stupid and sabotage something like a miracle. Something like I'm not gonna say sabotage it, y'all, because a miracle you can't stop that. That's another thing about it. A blessing with somebody name on it, that is true. If y'all ever heard any church say that or a person say that, and it's supposed to come to them and it's supposed to find them because they're in the right alignment of they are already standing in expectancy. Like there's nothing that can be done to stop that. That's one thing about a miracle too. It can happen for anybody, and people begin to live different in their lives. A miracle is so powerful. I believe love is the highest vibration, really, but a miracle is right there too. Like miracle type energy, miracle type experiences be imitated. It can't be copied. A miracle. The unfortunate thing is for it to be considered a miracle, like I said, you must have experienced a mess. That's the other side of miracle. Like it's a mess. It's a mess. It could be a beautiful mess, ugly mess, both are real terms. Ugly mess, beautiful mess. A mess could be beautiful. It just needs a little cleaning up, right? But a ugly mess could be a different situation. Either way, whether you pick up the Bible or not, this is a real fact. Miraculous energy, miraculous experiences are very not just shows about hauntings and ghost hunters. What about those miracles across the globe right now? You know what I mean? I don't know. Like, and what when we talk about what a miracle really is, how people are more, they're becoming more self-aware and they want to do better. Yes, the world has gotten much worse. Don't get me wrong, but I see a lot of people. I don't know. We don't talk about that enough, but a lot of people are changing out here. I see that just as much, and I'm not mad at it. I'd be more mad at myself if I see everybody changing and then how it's helping them change and help them change, and I just stayed stuck and didn't try to do anything. That's when I'd be mad. But I'm not mad at people for changing and trying new things and getting their money how to get. I'm not mad about none of that. Why? Because I first understand that blessings and miracles are very real. Like for just as real as the peers around me and everybody else, as it is for them. It's like that for me. Now, everybody's ship comes in at different times. We all must know this. You cannot rush the season. You cannot rush. You just cannot. They say perfection, and I'm never trying to be perfect, but I feel that you cannot rush perfection. So everybody's season is different. Why not sit back, enjoy, learn? Definitely give it your best shot, but learn too, because when it's your turn, you gotta you. I'm trying to explain a miracle to y'all because I think it's very real to like fumble miracles. Like you can't stop the miracle, like I said, but you can probably, I don't know, just throw dirt on it or make it look bad or just, really, really mishandle the miracle or the blessing. And this is where people, you do get the gossip communities too, where, like I said, they do see that it's a blessing or a miracle, but they more talking about how they feel like you're now misusing or don't know what to do with it, or they just feel like you shouldn't have it anyway, right? You don't want to look like that with your blessing. You don't want to look like that with your miracle. None of us should forget ever where the Most High has brought us from. Because to me, that's who is in ultimate control here. And I feel like to forget your struggle is to forget yourself. To forget what made you the better version of yourself, not the self that just survived, not the self that was just that because you were too young to choose for yourself. We're talking about when you actually have the choice, the power, the knowledge to be better, the resources. When you do have that, people are watching what you do with that quote unquote blessing or miracle. When that's in your hands, what are you doing with it? Any of us. It's a great live topic, build topic. What are we doing with our blessings and miracles? It's a great question. If we're willing to say that yes, Arthur Tedder shared, we agree with you, blessings and miracles really do exist and stuff like this. And yes, we should hold more integrity and we should be better with the things that we have been, so gracefully blessed with. We agree with you on that, Tedder Sherry. The next step would be, and or question would be, so if we agree with that, what are we doing? Let's ask ourselves, what are we doing with our blessings and miracles when we do get these positions? Gratitude has always gone a long way. Gratitude exists because it exists. Like people people have a way to say thank you in almost every language of the globe. Like there's a way to say thank you. There's a way that you pronounce thank you. I'm telling you right now. Because gratitude is a whole thing. And when you talk about blessings and miracles, real blessings and miracles, your gratitude levels are going to have to be way up there, way high. Because we all have to remember that just as much as these things can be invited in our lives, manifested in our lives, and even come into our lives, something like blessings and miracles, they can also be snatched away. For those that did know, Crown Publishing Content is here to remind you, don't ever, look. low on somebody else because you're sitting high. That's number one. Number two, anything could happen to any of us. This is the human experience. None of us have all the power over the galaxy, over the universe. Like, I don't believe that. I'm not willing to believe that. People might feel like they can mess with it or tap in or something. I don't believe that any human uh, experience being has that much power. So, once again, miracles exist, blessings exist, things that fly to us, good things that fall in our laps, right? But so do these things from the other side, darker things that you didn't even ask for. Those blessings and miracles that come that you didn't ask for, but so will those things from the darker side of life. You didn't ask for them, but here they come. Here they come to test you. Here they come to try you. Here they come to, you know, really scope you out, see what you're about, see what it is about blessings and miracles you prefer in your life. Maybe I feel like I deserve them now. Maybe you always deserve them, but I put the word now on there because it's a place I am in my life. What's wrong with miracles and blessings? Once again, miracles are great. I'm at a level of that type of strong energy. Miracles. Just give me a whole miracle, Lord. You know what I'm saying? Every time. Every time I turn a corner, every time I walk outside, every time I wake up. Because even if I personally feel like only miracles are doing this for me, God, only miracles are pushing me through every day. Miracle, miracle, miracle. I'm really downplaying it. Like, I'm saying it openly now today, but if it has to be miracles for somebody's life, then it's miracles. Who is anybody to question or judge what somebody feels like is miraculous in their life? What somebody felt like was a blessing to them, just for somebody else to go say, no, you robbed that. There's no way that was a miracle. We all know a miracle is something you didn't even really like expect. You didn't even expect it. So how did you rob it? You know what I'm saying? I mean, you would have to expect it to even rob. You would have to have an intention. That's what I'm saying. So if you didn't expect it to begin with, how are you even setting the intention to rob? It doesn't make sense. If a person said it's a miracle or it was a blessing, why can't we give them that respect for their truth, their belief? Because miracles and blessings are very real. Are we now living in a time where we are trying to become the dictator to who's blessed and who has miraculous favor on their life? Uh-uh. That's like practically blackballing and abusing somebody because you don't agree with, like, I don't know who they choose to be. It just seems like a very low life way to live. Anybody doing that to a group of people, individual, it doesn't matter. Just because you can't personally withstand or take who they choose to be in life. Mm-mm. I don't know, but I feel like alphas alphas, because some people say alpha male, alpha female. I'm not going to go that deep into it, like the sexes of alphas. I'm just going to say alphas as a general. I feel like alphas, real alphas, respect. They just do that. They respect other alphas. They're learning from other alpha. They're actually more so putting each other on game in those realms and circles of people than anybody else, because they're alphas and like their main, they naturally lead, like they're naturally bold and gotta show my face and I'm the alpha, god damn it, like this is how they just are. But I do believe it's a real thing for like alphas to clash, and it's just not a good space in the midst of a miracle, in the midst of a blessing, during somebody's blessing period, during somebody's miraculous favor period of their life, season of their life. See, the way the human experience people work, they can see that it's that your time, that time in your life. Isn't it sad to know that some people, they can know that you even deserve it? It's so sad that people are scared. You might feel scared to finally receive it because you had some self love or different self image issues going on with yourself. But for other people to be scared of your blessing for you is really, really crazy. It makes you like, well, come on, life, bring it, bring what you got. Like, I don't fear nothing. Like, why would somebody be scared of my success that I haven't even that I haven't even tasted yet. Like, I can see my anxiety about it, because you need a lot of help. Your life changes like boom, the blink of an eye. Thank you guys for tuning in to another segment titled Blessings and Miracles. What's the difference between the two? And if blessings and miracles exist, what is people's real struggle with the belief and faith and a greater good, and there being a light side to every darkness, and blessings and miracles being real. Blessings and miracles performing powerful ways, changes, opening doors, locking doors, you know what I mean, that don't need to be opened ever again. Miracles have been known to do this. Why wouldn't I want to be on that side of, the universe? I would want to be on the side of favor that favors me. So yes, the what I put out is going to come back to me. I feel like that's a big part of blessings and miracles too. Even if you didn't want to reference to the Bible, debate with people about the Bible today, and debate with them about heaven and whether good things exist or not. Blessings and miracles definitely exist. We can all agree that we've all probably experienced a blessing or a miracle in life, but why wouldn't we just want to live that continuously, like be in that space of miracles and blessings 24/7? Leave your opinions in the comment section. Thank you guys for tuning in. Hit that subscribe bell to follow future streams and interviews with authors and entrepreneurs just like you. Learn more about our mission to assist independent writers and freelancers in 2024 when you visit my website, contentcrownpublications.com. Thank you guys.